Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the... It looks like we'll have to wait another week to get our first halftime report of the season as we move right along to the second half. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. From the end zone, here comes Williams. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Ravens.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. From the 6. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Wilson now off the bootleg. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. See the athleticism there of Brian Burns stopping him behind the line.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Throwing is Wilson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Brian Burns able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 24 yards. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Kenneth Walker taking it in from the 20. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add to their lead. Well, you knew if they were in range, they would just keep feeding him the ball. And there you go, Charles. How about 5 rushing touchdowns in a debut? Incredible.
And how lucky and fortunate are we to be here to witness this. What a way to get started for him. This has been fun for us.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it is 42-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of Moore.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. This is taken at about the 14. A pretty good punt there. Return of 12 yards. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll give to Hall. And he's got Rome. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
McPherson now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. New York set to take the field. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. They go play action with Jackson. He completes this to Walker. Touchdown! Ken Walker from 3 yards out. And the Ravens are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Well, CD, I mean, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into week 2. This has been an impressive week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So out now come the Jets. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the 2 of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here's Williams to return. And there he goes again. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Turning into a really... On the road, week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Fielded right around the 8. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. But they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They go play action now. Jackson. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10. Gets around him and all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 120 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. You can talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. takes it at the 7. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. New York set to take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think. And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, he's got a man complete. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 47 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Wilson. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
One last shot for Wilson. He's going to take another shot here. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together.